and for the first time ever, put them in English. And that was kind of the big selling point of her book. And of course, like I said, around this time, 2009, there was a lot of true crime, a lot of vampire stories, the Twilight movies, things like that were very popular. And so this kind of had a built-in audience when you think about it, right? And what she did is she went back and she, like I said, examined the court records and looked at this historical figure, Countess Elizabeth Bathory, right? And like I said, she's the inspiration for the Wicked Queen in Snow White, or is it the stepmother? One or the other. There's a metal group named Bathory that's based on her. Lots of, like I said, B horror movies in the 1970s. There's one called Countess Dracula. There's one called Daughters of Darkness, and there's a few others that I'm drawing a blank on. But yeah, she's very popular in popular culture, basically, right? And so Kim did a SWOT analysis, right? She examined her strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And after doing some research, she decided to go with this print on demand company, right? And she chose CreateSpace. That's not an endorsement. You're welcome to choose whatever print on demand company fits your bill. There's no right or wrong answers. Those of you on the music side, you guys tend to like TuneCore. Some people prefer CD Baby. Some people prefer CreateSpace, but there's no right or wrong answer to all these things. It's just a matter of doing research. And let me just kind of also mention that for the online students, your discussion this week is to go and kind of investigate some print-on-demand companies. And we give you some there. We give you some examples, but you're welcome to go and do your own research and find out. And basically for your discussion, just talk about some of the strengths and weaknesses of some of these print-on-demand companies, right? So Kim chose CreateSpace, but like I said, that's not necessarily a right answer. For you, maybe you want to choose a different print-on-demand company, but that's the one that she chose. And she had a brand. Now, keep in mind, she doesn't have to worry about copyright infringement for this because she took this image, and of course, this image is centuries old, right? So obviously, you guys had the law class with Cassie last month. I'm sure you're aware of the copyright laws. You don't have to worry about taking images that are this old. So she took this image, and this is the brand. This picture, what you see here, this is the cover of the book. This is also the cover, like the cover page of her website, and any kind of merchandise that she'll have, any type of newsletter, it's going to have this type of brand. And of course, you guys all had the branding class with Ken, right? And you know the importance of having one consistent brand, right? You don't want to have like a million different images of your products or sending like different messages to your customers, right? So she had one brand. She started a website. And today, I should say too that I don't know what Kim paid for the website back when she created this back in like 2010 or whatever it was, 2011. But today, just doing research myself, I know that you can find like web pages out there for as low as like $10 a year or something like that. Not even $1 a month. You can find maybe a little bit more than that. But I mean, like if you go to like GoDaddy.com or whatever, you can find cheap ways to get a website. And you might want to consider that for your product, whatever it is, right? And obviously, too, you want to start like a fan page. You want to start like a Facebook page. You want to have probably other social media like Twitter, things like that, right? And so if we go to her website, which I'm not going to do, but she'll probably take you to the website if she didn't already yesterday for you on-campus students. But if you go to that website, it's just like infamouslady.com, I think, right? If you go there, you will notice that it has that brand image, of course, like I said, this brand image, that image. And she also provides information to kind of set the hook, to hook the audience in, right? So you don't just want to have a blank web page, right? Or a web page that just has your product on there with a link to Amazon. You can, but I mean, to kind of get that hook, you do want to offer the customer something, right? You want to kind of pique their interest. So if you notice on her website, she provides information for the enthusiast, and it also offers reasons why her book is different, right? Because there's been a lot of research that's gone into Countess Bathory, and like I said, a lot of movies and lots of comic stories and things like that that are all based on Elizabeth Bathory. But the thing that separates Kim's book that she's offering that's unique is that her book is the first time that the court records were ever translated in English, right? So that's what she offers. That's what she emphasizes on her website. And then She offers things like what hers offer that others don't. So kind of like the inside story of the family, like Elizabeth Bathory's family, some of the politics that were happening in Hungary at the time, right? What makes her credible? Of course, Kim is a lawyer. She's very intelligent. She's a college professor, right? You want to have multiple ways to buy the book. So in other words, links to Amazon, a way for enthusiasts to join a mailing list, right? Join a club. And of course, what she did is she tried to aim for a strategic release. Now, in her case, this book is about this lesbian vampire, right? This historic lesbian vampire. So Halloween probably would have been the ideal time. I don't think she quite got it in at that time, but it was shortly after. It was like early November, right? But you want to try to aim for a specific release. So I don't know, hypothetically, let's just say you're doing some type of book or work that's based on Christianity or something, or has like Christian theme. Well, Christmas would be a good time to release it, right? Or Easter or something like that. And just in general, of course, the holiday season is a good time to release anything because that's when people buy the most stuff, right? So try to aim for a strategic release. And also, whoops, let me go back for a second. Okay, so also, the cool thing with print on demand companies is a good print on demand company, a company like CreateSpace or TuneCore or CD Baby or something like that, and many others, a good one will get you worldwide distribution, right? What I mean by that is that if you go to Amazon, if you do CreateSpace, CreateSpace is owned by Amazon, right? So if you go through CreateSpace and you get your product out there, guess what? It's going to be put on Amazon. Anybody in the world can order it then, right? So a good print on demand company will get you that, right? Or on the music side, a good print on demand company will get your stuff on iTunes, right? Some of them might be scams, but a good print on demand company will do that for you, right? So you want to do the research to make sure that your print on demand company will get you the right distribution channels that you need, ideally worldwide distribution, right? And also, a good one will get you expanded distribution. What that means is that basically, if you are ordering something from, it's not through Amazon, right? But let's just say that you use CreateSpace and your stuff is on Amazon. Okay, they will give you the option to get expanded distribution, which means that let's just say that somebody's on Barnes and Noble, right? Well, guess what? With expanded distribution, you can still sell through them. You won't make as much money as you would with Amazon because that's your direct distribution, but you still probably want expanded distribution, right? Because some money is better than nothing at all, right? So I think like hypothetically, I could be wrong on this and it changes all the time, but I think that like if you sell a book, a physical copy of a book on CreateSpace, I think that your royalties are about 40%. And also time out for a second. Keep in mind that when you guys did projects 1 and 2, remember that a typical agent is only going to give you 15%. So that's another reason why you might want to consider self-publishing, because your print on demand company is going to get you a higher royalty rate, at least twice as much, right? So I think you get like 40% on a physical book. But expanded distribution, you might only get maybe 20%, but 20% is still better than nothing, right? I mean, you would want your customers to buy through Amazon, but still, though, if you get 20%, 20% is better than 0%, right? And also, the cool thing is that some of you might already know this on the music side, but I think like a company like TuneCore, and again, this changes all the time, but I think a company like TuneCore, for a digital copy, they might get you something like 92% or something like that royalty rate. In fact, it might even be some of these companies offer you like 100% royalty rate. You just have to sign up like a yearly fee or something like that, but you might get like 100% royalty rate for a digital copy, right? So that's something that you might want to consider. So in other words, like hypothetically, if you're selling a book, you would probably want to take the Kindle option, right? Because you actually make more money that way. I think Kindle, if you sell a physical or a book on through Kindle, an electronic copy, I think they'll give you almost like 70% royalties, something like that. So whatever the case might be, What you need to do for project three is, of course, to go ahead and do the research to find out which one is best for you, find out the royalty rates. Remember, the more specific you can be with project three, the better. And I'll show you some student examples here coming up. But just a few more things here. Um, you might want to consider like merchandise, like cafepress.com can get you, mugs, shirts, things like that. And what Kim did, of course, is she has a Facebook page and ad. I won't go into the analytics of this. You guys will get more into that next month with the digital marketing class. But I will just say, and maybe we'll talk more about this next week, but I will just say that a Facebook ad is something that you might want to consider. Yes, it costs money, but there's a cool thing with that though, because let's just say that you don't have a large budget, and let's just say that you want to only spend at the most, let's just say $60 a month. So that comes out to about $2 a day, right? And you're worried that like, well, they charge you by the click, right? So you think, oh, well, I don't want to do a Facebook ad because what if a million people click on it? Well, don't worry about that because you can set your meter to with the point where let's just say that it costs you 50 cents per click whenever every time somebody clicks on your ad. Well, you can get it to where your budget will only go to $2 a day because you can get it to where like if 4 people click, that brings it up to $2. After that, the ad will disappear. So you don't have to worry about your advertising budget going way over the top, right? And also the cool thing with Facebook is that, and again, this might be from a consumer standpoint, this might be a little bit of a violation of privacy, but the cool thing is that Facebook will let you have targeted ads, meaning that let's just say that you have some kind of product that is vampire related, like Kim's book. They can get you a list of people. They will only put your ad on people's page who like vampires, for example, something like that. So ethically, as a consumer, you might not like that, but as a marketer, it's something that might be really good for your campaign, basically. And so Kim also started like a community of Bathory scholars on Facebook. You want to use Twitter, blogs, web optimization. Kristen will tell you more about that next month. But you guys are probably familiar with like Google AdWords and things like that. Okay. So now for project three, where will you take your project? And that's what you guys need to do for project three. Okay, and before I get to the attendance questions here for you on-campus students, let me go ahead here and show you some examples of some project threes that we've had from previous classes, right? So let's just start here with, let's start out with, okay, so this is an example of, I think this is a, looks like somebody's trying to get in here. I don't know. Hold on, everybody. Time out. Hey, oh, okay. It looks like this is a. I don't know if this is a book or not. Let me go here and let's look at this example here. Okay, this is an example of a, as it says here, to educate and enlighten African American caregivers of children about different and real emotion. So it looks like this is, and I took the student's name out because of, for the sake of being anonymous here. And it looks like it's a nonfiction book, okay? So you can see here they provide a lot of detail, right? Their mission statement. Let me go ahead here and explain that the mission statement is not the mission for your company, okay? It's a little bit different than the business plan. This looks like a business plan here, but this is not a business plan. The mission statement is the mission for your product, whatever it is. So this could be the mission for your book. It could be the mission for your film. It could be the mission for your music project, whatever it might be. So that's what the mission statement